While we see Vice President and failed border czar Kamala Harris, she's the one, Sean, heading to the Munich Security Conference tomorrow, where she will be meeting with the Ukraine President Zelensky. Sean, she is now apparently tasked with Russian diplomacy. Do you think she'll be more successful than her handling of this border crisis?
I mean, you got to wonder. It's not like there's a tough bar to reach, right, on this. And it says a lot that that's who you said, right? But it's interesting. I think instead of having me answer that question, I want to bring in Newsmax national security contributor and former U.S. ambassador to Germany, the former acting director of national intelligence, Ric Grenell. Ambassador, always great to see you. I think the thing that's interesting here is you've got Russia saying that they're withdrawing troops and that they have no plans. None. They're not planning to invade Ukraine. U.S. intelligence claims there's actually an additional buildup of Russian troops. I kind of wonder if you put your acting director of national intelligence hat back on, is it concerning that our intelligence agency doesn't seem to have a better handle on what's going on in terms of both troop movement and what Putin's going to do right now? Am I off base in wondering why we don't have a better sense of that?
Well, first of all, Sean and Mercy, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. But Sean, I think that you're right. You're used to reading intelligence and getting briefed, and you know what's happening. But let me just explain very clearly that I'm not sure that our U.S. intelligence analysts have decided what the Russians are going to do. Certainly, we see the facts that there's Russian buildup. But just because there's Russian buildup does not mean that we know or that there is a plan to actually invade. I think that this has just been an emotional push by the Americans. The Ukrainians are not saying that they are panicking about this. The Russians certainly are saying that they're not doing it, but that doesn't mean anything. We can always distrust the Russians. I would echo, though, I think, what President Zelensky told President Biden. The Ukrainian president said very clearly to the American president, your policy isn't working. It's the worst of both worlds. First of all, you're not deterring Russia. And secondly, you're causing panic with all of this talk, and you're killing our economy. And so I would say to the American politicians in Washington, D.C., is if you really believe that a bloody war is around the corner, how dare you not implement Russian Nord Stream 2 pipeline sanctions? Why are we waiting to see blood before we respond peacefully with sanctions? This is the typical Washington response, where official Washington waits to see blood before they do some sort of military action. I'd like to see the State Department be more empowered with peaceful diplomacy before we put boots on the ground and start marching into war.
Well, Rick, we've seen, for example, that there's been a cyber attack on Ukraine. We saw this incident that happened by these Russian separatists at this school and kindergarten class. So there are these markers, this instability that's occurring there in the Ukraine. And we also saw Russia expel the #2 U.S. diplomat. I mean, what does this all mean, and what should our response be?
Look, I think that the Russians expelling diplomats is, sadly typical. And there's always a tit for tat. And during the Trump administration, that was one of the things that they did when they were frustrated. They threw out our ambassador, they threw out the DCM, and we had to deal with that. Russia has never been welcoming to our diplomats anyway. I mean, they take forever giving visas to family members who try to go, or even our Marines to guard the embassy. And so it's been a problem for a while. I don't think that's ever going to go away. But this war talk, I think, if official Washington believes this, then why aren't we putting sanctions, in the form of SWIFT banking sanctions, and I would say, we should also do Nord Stream 2 sanctions immediately. Nord Stream 2, that Russian pipeline, is what's funding all of this offensive activity from the Russians.
Rick, I want to switch gears for a second. This Durham report and Hillary Clinton and everything that went on in her campaign. When you were director of national intelligence, you were at the forefront of declassifying a lot of stuff. You were the guy who said, let there be sunlight on this, and it took 3+ years, I guess, almost 3 years for it to finally happen. Is that what it's, I mean, I guess without a Ric Grenell, is there any hope of us actually finding out what really happened?
Well, I think we give credit to John Radcliffe, too, who did also a lot of declassifications. Look, I think that what we have to be able to do is expect transparency from Washington. It's not what we get, but we have to be able to demand it and then expect it to happen. And when it doesn't, we call it out. For me, when I saw what was happening, it was a glaring, troublesome situation. I think, my mom would have been horrified to see one person saying something in front of their lawyer privately in the basement of Congress and then quite another on MSNBC or CNN. My mom would say, that's a liar. And so I wanted to be very clear that declassifying this information and letting the American people see the duplicity of someone who would say one thing on television publicly and say quite another when they were under oath. Susan Rice in particular, when asked whether or not she saw any evidence of Russian collusion or if Donald Trump was a Russian asset, she said flatly no. She didn't see that. It's not what she was saying on TV, but I think that this is typical behavior for Washington. Outside of Washington, where I'm from in Michigan or here in California, most people would say that's lying.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you doing it, and I always appreciate your input. Thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, Gal.